people are uploading their MRIs, their blood panels, their scan reports straight into an AI and getting a confident second opinion back in seconds. And right now, the internet can't agree on whether that's brilliant or terrifying. One write-up blew up this week. Hundreds of people in the comments swearing an AI caught something their doctor missed. Hundreds more calling it reckless. So I stopped reading the fight and ran the test myself. I gave an AI a real anonymized scan and the report that came with it. And I got two completely different experiences out of the same tool. One was genuinely scary good. The other confidently lied to my face. So, should you trust an AI with your scan? The real answer isn't yes or no. It's about which job you're handing it. And the difference on something this serious is everything. Let's get into it. Here's what kicked it off. Someone with weeks of shoulder pain exported their actual MRI, a file the size of a movie, and handed the whole thing to a top AI model with one line, right shoulder pain. The post detonated. Hundreds of points, hundreds of comments in a day. Because the story underneath it is the one everyone secretly wants to be true. The machine saw what the expensive specialist supposedly couldn't, and the comment section turned into a war. Regular people sharing miracle saves. Actual radiologists jumping in to say, "That's not what happened," and you're reading normal anatomy as damage. Both sides absolutely certain. So I did the boring thing and read the whole original write-up. And here's the first thing nobody repeating this story tells you. The AI didn't catch anything that got confirmed. What actually happened? The AI disagreed with the radiologist. The doctor read a partial tear. The AI said the tendon looked basically fine. Nobody knows who's right. No surgery, no follow-up settled it. The author literally ends in limbo. That's a very different headline. Not AI beats doctor. It's AI confidently contradicts doctor. Outcome unknown. Hold on to that gap, because my own test landed in exactly the same place, twice over. So my turn. I took a real anonymized scan and its written report. The dense, jargon-packed kind you get handed and can't read, and asked the AI to just explain it to me. And this is where it shines. Line by line, it turned medical Latin into plain English, what each term means, which findings are routine wear and tear versus which actually matter. In 2 minutes, I understood my own report better than I ever had standing in the office. Then I asked it the thing your 7-minute appointment never leaves room for. What should I actually ask about this? And it gave me a genuinely sharp list of questions. That alone is worth something real. And back in that viral case, the strongest thing the AI did wasn't reading the image at all. It noticed 2 of the clinic's treatments ran against the published guidelines. That's not radiology. That's looking up the literature fast. And it's legitimately useful. See the pattern? Everywhere it was great. It was working with words, explaining text, recalling guidelines, drafting questions. Hold that thought, because the moment I asked it to actually see the scan, the whole thing changed. Here's the mental model that makes all of this click. These models feel like they look at your scan. Mostly they don't. Their strength is the ocean of medical text they trained on, not the pixels of your anatomy. The research is brutally specific about this. In one radiology study, a leading vision model could tell you the type of scan with 100% accuracy, and the body region 99%. It knows it's a shoulder MRI. Impressive. But ask it the only question that matters. is something wrong here, and accuracy collapsed to about 36%. Its specificity was 32% against 97% for human radiologists. It cried abnormal on healthy scans up to 86% of the time. Another evaluation was worse. Reading images alone, diagnostic accuracy around 8%, and it invented findings in well over half its answers. Describing tears, lesions, fluid that simply were not in the picture. So the model isn't a weak radiologist. It's not a radiologist at all. It's a brilliant translator of the words around your scan, doing an impression of someone reading the scan itself. And that impression is extremely convincing, which is exactly what happened when I pushed my test further and asked it to read the image directly, like a doctor would. Same scan, same model. I just changed the job, and out came this beautiful authoritative answer. A specific tear, a precise location, a severity grade, written with the unshakable confidence of a chief radiologist who has never once been wrong. There was just one problem. Going by everything the actual report and the research say, that finding wasn't reliably there. It made it up, fluently, specifically, and without a single hedge. This is hallucination in the highest stakes place it could possibly happen. And here's the genuinely scary part. The useful answer and the fabricated one looked exactly the same. Same confident tone, same clean formatting. Nothing in how it talks tells you which one to trust. That's the documented failure mode. These models are badly calibrated in medicine. Confidence and correctness come unhooked. It sounds equally sure when it's spot on and when it's dangerously wrong. You, sitting at home, cannot tell the difference.
So why is your feed full of miracle stories? Because of the most human bug in the data. You only ever see the wins. The glowing "it caught my tumor" post goes viral. Nobody on earth posts the other one. Nobody writes, "the AI told me I was fine, so I waited, and I was not fine." Those people aren't in the comments. The sample you're learning from is survivors only. And survivorship bias on a medical decision is how people get genuinely hurt. It's not just vibes either. There's research showing that leaning on AI for these reads can actually increase misses. The false negatives, the things quietly left out. Precisely because the confident looks clear makes you stop looking. And the regulatory line everyone skips. Not one of these general chatbots is cleared by the FDA to diagnose you. Legally, they're consumer wellness tools. They're being used as second opinion doctors completely outside the system, built to keep that safe. None of that erases the good part. The translation, the questions, the guideline checks, that was real, and it genuinely helps. The trick is refusing to let the part it's great at vouch for the part it's terrible at. So here's my honest verdict, and it's a line, not a yes or no. An AI is a phenomenal translator. It is not a radiologist. The instant you blur those two, you're betting your health on a system that hallucinates with a straight face. Use it for the translator job all day. Decode your report. Understand what the words mean. Build a sharp list of questions. Walk into that appointment as the most informed patient your doctor sees that week. That's a real upgrade. Never use it for the radiologist job. Not for a diagnosis. Not as a reason to skip the appointment. And never as the tiebreaker when it disagrees with the human who actually trained for a decade to read that exact image. The whole thing fits on one line. Use AI to walk into the doctor's office smarter. Never to walk past it. One small honesty. Even as a translator, it's not perfect. It still reads above most people's comfort level. And it isn't a warm bedside voice. Use it, then verify with the human. Always. If you want the honest test on the AI tools, people are quietly betting real things on. Not the hype, not the panic. Subscribe. We run them so you don't have to find out the hard way. Fast recap. The story that started this wasn't an AI beating a doctor. It was an AI confidently disagreeing with one, with nobody knowing who was right. It's great because it understands medical language. It's dangerous because it can't reliably read the image. And the research has the numbers to prove it. Down near a coin flip and below. Its right answers and its invented ones look identical and sound equally sure. Confidence tells you nothing, and the miracle stories you see are survivors only. So, translator, yes. Radiologist, never. Use it to walk into the office smarter and let the human with the medical license make the call. Scans are just the start. People are handing AI their contracts, their lab results, their legal letters. Same exact question every time. Translator or expert. I'm testing the next one soon. Be the smartest person in the waiting room. Never the only one in the building. Stay in the loop. See you in the next one.